The wind howled across the dusty plains of Texas as Ethan Cole, a weary cowboy widower in his 40s, tightened the reins of his tired horse. His ranch was barely holding together after years of drought, debts, and the lonely silence left behind when his wife, Mary, passed away 5 years ago. He was known as the quiet man in town, honest, hard-working, but haunted by sorrow. That morning, Ethan had no idea his life was about to change forever. Act I, The Station Encounter. The little town's train station bustled with travelers coming and going. Ethan had come simply to sell a few calves and pick up supplies. But as he tied his horse by the post, he noticed a woman sitting alone on a wooden bench, her travel trunk at her feet, her lace gloves tightly folded in her lap. She wasn't young, not the blushing bride most folks expected. Her hair carried streaks of silver, her face gentle yet weary. She looked as though life had already tested her more than once. People whispered as they passed, some smirking, others pitying. Her name was Clara Jennings, a 38-year-old woman who had answered a mail-order bride ad from a man out west. But when she arrived, the groom took one look at her, saw her age, her plain dress, her weathered hands, and turned his back. Left her stranded. Ethan overheard the gossip. His chest tightened. He remembered Mary's final words, "Promise me, Ethan, never let bitterness keep you from kindness." Without overthinking, he walked up to Clara. "Ma'am," he tipped his hat, "looks like you're in need of a friend." Clara blinked back tears, forcing a smile. "Seems I'm too old for friendship out here." Something about her honesty struck him. Act 2, A Proposal Born of Kindness. They spoke for a while. Clara revealed she had sold nearly everything back east to come here. Now, she had nowhere to go, no family to turn to, and barely a dime left. Ethan felt a pang deep inside. He had no plans to remarry. His heart still clung to Mary. But he also saw the cruelty of letting Clara walk into a world with no anchor. So, with a breath he hadn't planned on taking, Ethan said, "What if, you didn't need to go anywhere? What if you stayed, as my wife?" Clara gasped. "You don't even know me." "I know enough," Ethan said gently. "I know you deserve better than to be thrown aside like a broken saddle. And I know my ranch could use another soul who understands hard days and long nights." The townsfolk were stunned when, just hours later, the preacher at the small wooden church pronounced Ethan Cole and Clara Jennings husband and wife. Whispers filled the pews, some mocking, some curious, but Ethan and Clara only exchanged a quiet, steady gaze. Act 3, Trials and Growth. Life on the ranch wasn't easy. Clara traded her lace gloves for work gloves, mended fences, cooked meals, and learned the rhythm of the land. Ethan watched as she carried herself with quiet dignity. At first, their marriage was practical, almost businesslike, but small moments, her laughter at his clumsy attempts to fix a door hinge, the way she bandaged his blistered hands, the evenings they shared stories under the stars, began to thaw the frozen corners of Ethan's heart. Clara, too, felt something bloom. For the first time, she wasn't judged for her age or appearance. She was seen, respected, and valued. Act 4, The Crisis. One brutal summer, a fire swept across the plains. Ethan risked his life to save the cattle, but a falling beam nearly crushed him. Clara, without hesitation, dragged him to safety, her strength fueled by sheer determination. She nursed him back from the edge of death, refusing to let him slip away. One night, as Ethan lay weak in bed, he whispered, "Clara, I married you out of kindness. But somewhere along the way, kindness became love. Tears filled Clara's eyes. I thought I was too old for love, too late for happiness. But you've shown me that hearts don't keep time like clocks do. Act V, The Transformation. Word spread across town. The same folks who had mocked them began to notice the change. The struggling cowboy and the too old bride had built something rare, a partnership of grit, compassion, and deep, abiding love. Their ranch slowly prospered again, not just from hard work but from the life and hope they poured into it together. Neighbors began coming for advice, young couples sought their wisdom, and travelers at the station no longer pitied Clara but admired her strength. Climax and emotional peak. Years later, at a community gathering, Ethan stood with Clara's hand in his, gray now softening his hair. He raised his voice to the crowd, "Don't let the world tell you someone's worth by their age, their past, or their scars. Love doesn't ask how young you are, it asks how brave you are to open your heart." The room erupted in applause, and Clara's tears glistened not of sorrow this time, but of gratitude. Ending, a message of hope. Ethan and Clara grew old together, proving that second chances can arrive when you least expect them, even on a dusty train platform. Their story became a quiet legend across the plains, the widowed cowboy who gave kindness, and the bride too old who turned that kindness into a lifelong love. And as the sun set over the wide horizon, their legacy whispered a message to anyone willing to listen: it is never too late for love, and never too soon for kindness.